Hello and welcome to the Gale Blade News. Representative John Lewis, a leader in the civil rights movement and later US congressman, has died at the age of 80. Lewis was one of the big six civil rights leaders, which included Martin Luther King Jr. and helped organise the historic 1963 March on Washington. As a congressman, he was a Georgia Democrat and represented an area which covered most of its capital, Atlanta. In December 2019, Lewis announced that he had been diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer. "I've been in some kind of fight for freedom, equality, basic human rights for nearly my entire life," he said in a statement released at the time. "I have never faced a fight quite like the one I have now." During the civil rights movement, Lewis was one of the founders of the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, SNCC, and then became its chairman from 1963 to 1966. He co-organised and spoke at the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom, the rally at which Dr. King delivered his historic "I Have a Dream" speech. Lewis was the last surviving speaker from the march. Democratic Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi confirmed Lewis's death in a statement posted on her website and on social media. She wrote that Lewis was a titan of the civil rights movement whose goodness, faith and bravery transformed our nation, and that as a congressman he was revered and beloved on both sides of the aisle and both sides of the Capitol. "Every day of John Lewis's life was dedicated to bringing freedom and justice to all," she said. As he declared 57 years ago, during the March on Washington, standing in the shadow of the Lincoln Memorial, "Our minds, souls and hearts cannot rest until freedom and justice exist for all the people." How fitting is it that even in the last weeks of his battle with cancer, John summoned the strength to visit the peaceful process where the newest generation of Americans have poured into the streets to take up the unfinished work of racial justice. Upon news of his death, civil rights group the NAACP tweeted that they were deeply saddened. "His lifelong mission for justice, equality and freedom left a permanent impression on our nation and world," the organisation said. "The NAACP extends our sincerest condolences to his family, and we send prayers of comfort and strength to all." Former presidential candidate Elizabeth Warren tweeted that Lewis was a true American hero and the moral compass of our nation. Lewis's death comes on the same day as the death of a fellow civil rights leader, C.T. Vivian, at the age of 95. Vivian helped organise the Freedom Rides, a protest to integrate buses in the South, and later went on to lead the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. So, what do you think of this? Obviously, he was of an age, he's done what he can, and has helped to kind of basic causes and rights throughout his life. So he's done a lot of good, but it's just an unfortunate case that he passed of a lung cancer incident, at least in the respect that it wasn't the virus that took him. Whatever you think of his life or what he did, leave your comments down below, like the video if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to subscribe.